channel, and today I think I'm going to talk about like money, mindset, and just income and all those types of things, because it's something that I've kind of struggled with throughout my entire life, really. And it's something that I wish more people would talk about, because when you're younger, it's good to have those role models in place of seeing people who they know how to manage their money. Because I've noticed a lot of people don't really know how to manage their money. Like, I know that a lot of Americans are in really low paying jobs, but there are some individuals that even when they come across some money, they don't know what to do with it. They end up just spending it on something. So I actually wrote a Facebook post, and I was like PSA for like people just, coming into adulthood and starting their life, like try to do these things. And then I was like, let me make a video on this. So basically what I was thinking is like myself. So I am the first of my family to get a bachelor's degree. I grew up in Mississippi, which is very impoverished and very uneducated area. Not a lot of jobs, not a lot of opportunities going on down there. And just like that environment, like seeing it, like socially, you're kind of ingrained. I know that poverty is very prevalent there. So it's hard for you to break out of that cycle. I know a lot of people in poverty, it just becomes like a cycle, generation after generation. It just gets passed down. And it also is considered a generational trauma. And so for me, like seeing the poverty and seeing how horrible it was, to live paycheck to paycheck, like it's such a, maybe you don't realize it if you've lived that way, and if previous generations of your family have lived that way, you don't realize the stress that you're internalizing. You don't realize the uncertainty and how scary it is to never know if you are not going to have money for food, basic things, to be in that paycheck to paycheck cycle. And also, if you are in that cycle, it's hard to get out of it. Like, you just start spiraling down. Like, one tiny thing, just the most basic tiny thing, could completely throw the track of your life completely off. Because once you have to, if you lose your vehicle, first of all, in Mississippi, if you lose your vehicle, you can't get to work. So it's like something that small. But if you have been in poverty and you have horrible credit because you're using credit cards to pay for expenses, then you're not going to be able to go and get another vehicle. Or if you do, it's going to be at insane amount of interest. So you're going to end up paying like twice as much for the vehicle than if you were wealthy, or if you had a good credit score. So it's just like this whole entire, it's just layers. So many people don't realize how many layers poverty is and how hard it is to just wiggle yourself out of it. So like my entire life, I've always had this like mindset of like scarcity when it comes around, like when it has to do with like income or just money saved. Like, I save every single penny that I can. Like, I've been trying to do that my entire life. Like, anytime I had extra money, I would put it in a little shoebox and I would put all my expenses. This is my car note, this is everything. And then what was left over, I was like, okay, that's savings. And I've just been doing that my entire life because I just never wanted to experience that paycheck to paycheck cycle. And I've experienced it when I first was entering into the workforce, because when you're 18 or 19, you don't really have a lot of money. Like, you've not really been working. So it's like you're not starting with a lot. So, and I think a lot of people who come from money, they just don't realize it. I think that they don't realize how easy it is for your entire life to just get knocked off track. And also peace of mind. Like, if you have someone who has money in your family, and that if you need a loan, or if you need, or they can help you out financially, like a lot of people have some people like that in their family who can help them out. They could say, hey, like, I'm trying to buy a house, or like a family member, like a parent, grandparent, who will actually give them money for like down payments on houses, vehicles, helping with getting cars and things like that. Like, if you don't have anyone like that in your family, it's really hard. It's when you're trying to survive in life, you kind of are starting a little bit further back than other people. But I think it's good though to really focus on, no matter where you're coming from, Like, I feel like you can, it might take forever, it might take your entire life, but you can try to set up that safety net for yourself. Like for me, I saved every single penny I could for 16 years. And I mean, I still have kind of scarcity, and I'm still like, this is not enough money. Even though I have more money saved and invested than most Americans, it still doesn't feel right to me. I still feel like, oh no, it's, you know, it's very scary. Like I could lose all of this in a minute or two. Like at least that's how I feel. So I'm always just trying to save. I'm trying not to spend, and I'm trying to try out different business ventures. Like I'm going to try to maybe sell microgreens as like a little side income. Like I'm not afraid to try different ideas of making income until I find one that fits me, fits my personality, fits my lifestyle, and gives me the amount of money that I'm looking for and that I enjoy and love. Like those are the things I'm looking for. And I think it's okay for people to experiment. It's okay for you to try stuff. Try those business ideas, do it. I mean, as long as you don't put your entire life savings into it and then you lose it all, you know, in that venture, like you have to be very careful and calculated. But if it's something that's pretty minor, like try it. Why not? I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. I just wouldn't suggest trying any multi-level marketing companies because the people who make money in those is very, very, very small. And I've tried a lot of them in my younger years and kind of, you know, mid to late 20s as well. I would not recommend it. It's best to just do your own thing. Yeah. Or like find some kind of like 1099 remote working job or something like that. As long as it pays you well enough, because you do have to pay more in taxes if you're a 1099 employee. But yeah, there's just like a lot of different things around like money mindset, I feel, here in America. I think a lot of people, they want money, but they don't know how to go about saving it or doing something with the money. Like they don't know how to invest it. They don't know how to grow it. They don't know, if they do come across money, they don't necessarily know what to do with it. So they end up just like going on a vacation with it or buying, you know, just doing things that aren't necessarily necessary. And then they end up just, you know, spending it all. And they're back where they started. They're back at square one. And I think it's good if you are someone who's fortunate, you come across some money, like it's very important for you to try to like change your life course. Like take that money and invest it somewhere. And don't do it into risky of an investment, because if it's like the only type of money you're going to get, it's probably better to be a little bit more conservative with it. I put mine in mutual funds, so that's probably fine too if you do that. My mutual funds have never lost money, so, and I've had them for 6 or 7 years, I think. I mean, I would probably be losing money because I make almost $1,000 a month from those. If I did not have those, my money and my total wealth would be probably way down, because I've never made a lot of money in my life. And a lot of times I'm going in the negative. Although last year I only spent $28,000. This year I want to get my expenses down to $20,000. It's gonna be really hard. I don't know where I'm gonna shave off that extra $8,000, because I don't spend. But I do buy myself coffees every now and then. I do eat out every now and then, not often, like maybe a handful of times a year. And I do shop for myself clothing or something else, but not like a lot. But when I do, I spend $100, $50 or $200. Like those can add up, you know, like a $200 here and there every now and then. I think I could shave off $8,000. I need to go back through. I want to look at, I love numbers. I love evaluating like all of my investments and checking and seeing like how much they're making me, how much my overall wealth is going. Like every quarter, I like to check everything, just see where I'm at, see if it's going down overall, up overall. Like it's so important to me. Maybe I shouldn't obsess so much over the numbers, but as someone who saw so much poverty and saw the stress and the struggle and how hard life is if you don't have money saved up, I just, you know, and I don't think I'll ever feel comfortable. I may have to have $2 million in the bank, maybe more, maybe never. Maybe it's something that's just like ingrained in my mind that I'm never going to feel okay, you know, no matter how much money I have saved. Like I'm never gonna feel secure that, okay, there's enough money, like I can stop thinking about income 24/7. And that's when my boyfriend, he came home the other night and I was like all excited. I want to talk to him about my microgreens business. And he'd come home from work and he's like, can you just like, I need time to decompress, like just sit in silence, be quiet, like do my thing. And but I was like, you do realize like all the time, 24/7. Like my brain is always thinking about what the next thing is, what can bring income, what are my, expenses are every single month, every year. Where can I cut expenses? What can we do to try to get our housing costs down? Like I am analyzing, I am thinking, I am researching, Googling, everything I can think of. Like I'm reading articles constantly. It's almost to the point where it's just like totally consuming with glamping, with YouTube, with everything that I do. I go 100% into it. And right now, because my entire life I've struggled with like jobs and income, it's like that's all I can think about is how can I set myself up to where I don't have to stress or worry, and that where I can like help everyone around me. Like I want to be able to help my people in my community. Like if I had a lot of money, I would want to be also helping people, because I feel like that's like most people's true calling in life is like, what's the point of living if you're not like helping other people and sharing joy and love to everyone around you? I don't really get it. Like it's not that nice if you're on the top just by yourself enjoying the money. But yeah, so I think that's just where I'm coming from with everything. And I don't know, let me know down below if any of y'all are also in that same kind of mindset, or if you have similar experiences, or if you're also like trying to work on some kind of income or business idea that you will love and enjoy and it'll pay the bills and do some things with, because I just love hearing different people's ideas. I think it's a lot of fun. It's really exciting, and it's something that I can focus on and do all day every day for years, because I did it when I had a boutique. So my boutique was a lot of fun because I made my own soaps, and so I was able to do so much stuff. I did all the marketing, I did all the photography, I signed up for like festivals and fairs and flea markets, and I was even at farmers markets. I had a storefront. I was in different places where they sell you like little portions of the store and you set it up. And it was a lot of fun to be so creative. I would research clothing lines, I would buy clothes, I would make the lotions, I would make soaps, and I would make them look like little cupcakes, and I'd put little like bath fizzies, and I just did so much stuff. I was always looking up packaging. I wanted my packaging to be beautiful, so I bought these little clear boxes and I put little ribbon on them, and I hot glued little flowers on the top, and I made a beautiful, like, I printed this like clear logo that had it was like a logo, but it had my logo on it, but it was clear so you could look into the packaging and see the little cupcake that was soap. And so I just always was like looking for things like that, like cool packaging. I love the whimsical, like boho chic look, luxury. And I did that for like 5 years. I was doing all of that. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed having my own kind of thing, but it's hard to take a business like that and by yourself and grow it into something that is like super successful. I hate the sales part of things. So I have business ideas and like doing all of that. Like I'm very creative, but like when it comes to trying to get sales, that's where I'm always falling short, I feel. Like I hate like cold calling, cold emailing, cold walking in. Like I did that every now and then. I would have some success. Most of the time I didn't. Like most of the time I never heard back from them, but I never reached back out because I was not comfortable with reaching back out. I just don't like that part of it. I don't like hitting the pavement and trying to drum up sales. I just would much rather have me a business, pay for an ad, and have people coming to me. Or having something that's so cool and different, and you're marketing it online, so that way you're not like actually like reaching out to people individually and like saying, hey, do you want to buy this whatever from me, or do you want to sell this in your store? Like instead of that way, I would rather those people to be coming to me. So that's what I'm going to work on with the glamping. My strategy as far as like marketing for glamping is going to be working on of course YouTube, because I'm going to be filming our entire progress. We're going to go out there and build it together. My 2 investors, I'm talking to another investor tomorrow. He actually lives in Seattle, so I'll see if he has any interest in coming and building it with us and putting money into it. And so I was thinking YouTube, of course, is good marketing for that. And then also Instagram, because Instagram is really beautiful. It's all visual. So having our beautiful visual things that I want to create and build would be nice to put on there. Pay for probably some advertisement, because I definitely want to have a strategy and a marketing budget for the first couple of years. I want it to be pretty hefty. And also like locally, I want to reach out to like photographers and wedding venue people who want to do like wedding photography and things like that, and also maybe like yoga retreats or like crystal type yoga retreats. I know a lot of people are like into crystals and things like that. I don't necessarily like believe in crystals and stuff, but I do think they're beautiful and they're cool. And so maybe like tapping into that kind of community. I think they would love glamping, nature, ecotourism. They would love all of those types of things. And that's just kind of like my idea, is doing those few things. And I guess probably posting on Pinterest would be good too, because what we make is going to be really visually beautiful and have a nice aesthetic to it. I'm hoping we're able to build some cool like photo areas, you know, where people can like take some really pretty photos, and that would help draw the crowd. It's like you really have to be very strategic about how your stuff is going to look, and also like getting it out there. If someone sees something that is just really beautiful, like on Instagram or online, there are so many people, the second they see it, if it draws them in enough, if it's that beautiful, then they want to go. Like they don't care like where is it, like I just want to go there, I want to see that, I want this same photo. And that's what I'm going to be trying to appeal to. So I was thinking of having like a big like wreath type of thing that people could literally like sit inside or on, and then have it like decorated all beautiful, maybe like eucalyptus or something like that. Maybe have like a little like tree, like teepee. It's almost like little wood, raw wood, and kind of decorate that with different things. I'm trying to think of what would look nice in like a deserty type of location, because we are probably going to build it in the desert. My phone is just going off. Someone's like calling me. I'm like, who are you? It's probably the doctor, because I avoid phone calls like the plague, and I'm supposed to make a doctor appointment and I have not. So that'll be on my list. I'll do it tomorrow. You know, like everything, it's always tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow's always tomorrow. But I'll finally get there. But yeah, I just want to get on here and just talk about like money and like your experience and relationship with money. And oh, also I would love to know your goals. Like, what are your savings goals? Like, where would you like to be in the next like 10 years as far as like saving or investing? Like, what do you foresee for yourself? Because I love writing down goals and trying to reach them. Like sometimes it takes me way longer to reach the goal. Like I'll be like, in the next 2 years I want this much saved, or I want to be here in life, and then 6 years later maybe I'm not quite there yet, but you know, I'm getting there. It's, you know, you have to maybe sometimes extend that timeline. But let me know down below like what you're up to and like what your plans are, and I'll see all y'all in the next video.